evening, everybody, and welcome to Transparent Tuesday. I am your host, Frances Dupree. Happy New Year, you guys. I'm excited about 2021. I know for a lot of people, 2020 was terrible with the pandemic, but I trust God, and 2020 had its roller coaster rides, but for the most part, it was really a blessing for my family and I. So I'm excited about 2021. New year, new blessings, new chances for God to use us. I'm excited, super excited, because you never know what God has in store for you. You never know when it's that midnight hour and your situation is about to turn around. Tomorrow, I am hosting my first clubhouse room. I'm a little nervous, you guys know. I get nervous every Tuesday before I come and do Transparent Tuesday. So I'm nervous about Clubhouse, but God is telling me it's time. Stop being shy. He's blessed me with a lot of knowledge. I've gone through a lot of experiences in life. So I need to share. He hasn't given me this testimony, this platform, this book, opened so many doors for me to just be quiet and stay silent and sit in the background. It's time to speak. So that's what I'm going to do. Tonight, speak life. This is something that is very, very important to me and something that I get on my children about all the time. And I have told friends and family, speak life. So, Proverbs 18:21, King James Version, says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Very strong, very firm believer that you either speak life or you speak death. Sometimes when going through situations, it's easy to say what you can't do, what you're not capable of. It's when dealing with children, especially when dealing with children. And God knows I'm getting better because sometimes my children, they frustrate me, they upset me, and I cuss at them. And I'm like, oh God, I don't like cussing at my kids. And I tell my kids, I don't like to cuss at you guys. And I'm like, Lord, help me, please, so I don't cuss at my kids out of frustration because I shouldn't do it. And it's a reaction that I don't mean to do, but I'm trying to get better at it. Today is the 5th day of January, and I haven't yet. So I'm hoping and praying I keep on that path. But I titled this Speak Life, and I put in the Proverbs verse, and I also said, be mindful of the things that you say to your children. I have seen a lot of women, okay? So we're always so quick to speak on a man being toxic to a woman, a man being toxic to his children. What about a mom being toxic to her children? What about a girlfriend, a mother of someone's children, a baby mama, a wife, whatever the title may be, being toxic to their spouse? I hear a lot of women tell their sons, you're going to be just like your father. Or fathers that are mad at their daughters and the mom, you're going to be just like your dad. Your mom. That is not okay. First and foremost, this is my firm belief, and this is how I'm about both of the people that I have kids by. I have 7 kids by my ex-husband, and I have 2 children with my current husband. I do not believe in bashing them. Number one, when I was a kid, my mom bashed my dad to me. And when I met him, I hated him. And I sabotaged the relationship on purpose based on what my mom told me. And then as I got older, I learned my father was not who my mom said that he was. And then I regretted the mistakes. I thank God because we have an awesome relationship right now. Such a healthy relationship, so awesome. Like I can call my dad and be like, hey, look, dad, I need your advice. A man's point of view. I don't understand this. Please explain it to me. These kids, I don't get it. My husband, I don't get it. Can you please explain it to me? So I love my dad. But based on the seed that was planted in me from my mom, that could have been destroyed. I thank God that it wasn't. I don't hold any resentment against my mom, but it could have been prevented. It is very, very, very important the things that you speak to and into and over your children. Anybody that knows me, don't call my kids niggas. They are not niggas. I do not care. My sons are not niggas. They're not statistics. They're not going to grow up and be statistics. And anyone that has slipped up and, oh, my nigga or oh, nigga, I'm the first. I'm quick. Don't say that. Not in this house. Not these boys. No, 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 no. Out of frustration, things come out of people's mouths, right? I've seen a lot of moms. Oh, you're going to be just like your dad. Oh, you're not going to be nothing. Oh, you're not going to this. You're not going to that. This resonates into anybody's mind. This is why they say verbal abuse, emotional abuse. It's real and it's very important to know and be educated on it. When someone continues to hear what they're not going to do, what they're not going to be, they start to believe it. And that's how they structure their life. That's how they make decisions in life. Well, my mom or my dad said I'm not going to be this, or I can't do this. It's very few, and I mean very few, that take that and it motivates them to prove people wrong. But for the majority, it hinders them. And that's their excuse. My mom said I wasn't going to be nothing. My dad said that I wasn't going to be nothing. It's not okay. It's not okay. I tell my kids all the time, you're going to be better than me. You're going to be better than your dad. You're going to be better. My kids have two dads, my husband and my ex-husband. They're going to be better than both of them and me and anybody that's connected to us. They're going to be better. I speak that life into them. I tell my daughter all the time, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're successful. I'm speaking that life into her. So on those dark days that she has and she's upset and she can't look at herself in the mirror, I'm hoping and I'm praying that it resonates with her and she'll hear my voice. My mom said I'm successful. My mom said that I'm beautiful. My mom said that I'm intelligent. I tell my sons, if I got to drag you across that stage, you will graduate high school. You're going to go to college. You're going to go to military. You're going to go and do something with your life, but you're not going to be a statistic. We don't have time for gang members. No, they're not lacking love. They don't need nobody to come in, swoop in, save them, join into a gang. None of that. No, it's not going to happen. Are my kids perfect? No, not by any means. Am I perfect? Not by any means. Is my husband perfect? Not by any means. But the basic concepts of life and death are in the power of your tongue. I tell my children all the time, they like to joke with each other and what is it called? Make jokes on each other. Like, you're this or you're that. And I'm like, don't speak death into your brother. Don't speak death. Speak life. The tongue is so powerful. The words that you say to people are so powerful and it sticks more than if you were to fight a person or if you were to just completely stop talking to them. The things that you say, that's the thing, is once you say something, you can't take it back. So, and for some people, they replay what you said, like me. And I've asked God to help me with this. But every conversation that I have, I replay it and I think about what I could have said, what would have happened if this was said. So, and things that people say to me, it sticks in my mind and I continue to hear it. And I've learned to pray on it and not to receive certain things. But these are children that that I'm specifically talking about right now. They may not know how to say, I don't receive that, or no, don't speak that over my life. I quick to say, do not speak that over my children's life and men. So let's talk about the Black community right now, because that's all I know about. And I can't speak on something that I don't know. And I have given you guys my words. I will not speak on something that I don't know, right? I've seen a lot of women tell their men, their husband, their baby daddy, their child's father, you're never going to change. You're not going to be A, B, C, and D. That is death. And then they wonder why the results that they're receiving from this man is death, because you're speaking death into him. But then when he goes and he's in a different relationship and this woman is speaking nothing but life and telling him what he can do, supporting him, praying for him, fasting for him, putting God as the foundation and saying, you know what, God, I'm going to take my hands completely off and I'm going to let your will be done. And they start to see the life and then they're upset. He's prospering with her. How come he couldn't do that for me? He's making these changes. How come he couldn't do that for me? Because you were speaking death. Life and death are always in the power of the tongue. Our tongue is so powerful. So if you're speaking death into any person, any child, even into yourself, those are the results that you're going to get. But if you start to speak life, even into a dead situation, you can be homeless at the moment. I'm going to get a house. I'm going to get an apartment. I'm going to be a homeowner. You may not have a job at the moment, but you're looking for a career. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get this job. When I first moved from San Bernardino to the high desert, I had just finished my associate's degree in paralegal studies. And I was currently working as an administrative assistant / office manager. And I kept saying, I'm going to work as a paralegal. And I started to look for jobs to work as a paralegal. Mind you, the only experience that I had was from school and watching Law and Order and Chicago PD. Hey, this Transparent Tuesday, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did not have the experience of actually working in a law office yet, right? So eventually I got the job. But through the grace of God, I was able to be taught. I'm a quick learner. I see, I study. So I was able to learn. But all along, I was already qualified for the job because of life experiences. I was able to speak with the clients and to connect with them because of things that I've been through in life. I knew how to talk to the clients in a way to where I didn't make them feel bad about their situation or make them feel like I was judging them. Those experiences in life make you qualified. So the fact that I kept speaking life into myself, I got the result of speaking life. If you continue to speak life into your children, I know a lady, I don't want to put her business out there, but since her daughter was born, she's done nothing but speak life into her. Pray over her every day before she sends her to school. Nothing but life. This young woman, number one, straight A student out the gate, so successful. And I strongly believe that was because of her mom speaking life into her. It got to the point where she started praying over her own hand. She started praying over her own mind. So she was able to receive the information. Everything that she touched started to prosper because her mom planted that seed into her. We need to be mindful of the seeds that we're planting into our children. One, we're responsible for the next generation. We complain about the things that we deal with in our generation or what our parents didn't do. So now we have the chance to correct that. So we're either going to correct it in a good way and plant good seeds and speak life into our children, or we're going to have an endless cycle continue to go. Because being a parent, there's no manual. You don't know until you're actually parenting. If you grew up and death was being spoken into you, I'd say 7 times out of 10, that's the cycle that you're going to continue. It's time to start breaking these cycles and to start speaking life into our children. The world, it's winding up. Time is running out. We want to speak life into them. The Bible says to train your child up in the way they should go and they'll never depart from it. The best thing we can do is teach them God. The best thing that we can do is teach them how to have a prayer life and speak life. You can be dealing with such a dead situation and start to speak life into it, and you will start to see things change. Put God into every situation. Put God into your children. Teach them how to pray. That way, when they find themselves, because honestly, we can't be there 24/7. We cannot be with them every second. We can't hold their hands every second of the way. So we have to give them like a guide, right? Okay, a prayer life, a relationship with God, spending time in God's presence, speaking life into yourself, speaking life into those around you, and, basically bringing light to the situation. So if we give them a guide that they can follow, it may take a while for them to get into the routine. Some of them at the time may not want to have nothing to do with it, but if you incorporate it into a routine, they'll get used to it. And believe you me, there will be a time when all of them are going to have that experience and that encounter with God. Or they're going to be in a situation to where they're going to need God. And if they don't remember nothing else that you taught them, they're going to remember how to cry out to God. They're going to remember how to get on their knees and pray. They're going to remember how to speak life. Let's stop this vicious cycle of death. People are already killing each other. The government is already going crazy. For those of you that have African American sons, Black sons, whatever words you want to use, the world is already against them. We don't need to be against them at home. We need to speak life into our sons. We need to speak life into our daughters. This is why we have so many broken women and we have so many broken men, because death was spoken into them instead of life. They lack esteem. Their self-esteem is so low. Women are taking anything from a man, dealing with any type of relationship. Why? Because they were not taught better. That life was not spoken into them. They weren't shown a healthy relationship. Men are growing up and they think they can't do nothing, can't this, can't that, can't. No, that's not the case. It's a can, and you will, and it's just a matter of how and when you're going to do it. These men grow up and they're so broken because they were told what they can't do. And oh, you're going to be just like your dad, or you're going to be just like this or just like that. No, you're going to be better. Then they get with women and they help these women and they become successful in life, or they have babies by women, and women are like, oh, now they have this attitude of like they're better because they have a better job, or they want to look down upon because you're not doing what you want them to do. So they start to speak death into you. Men may have a thick shell on, but they still have a heart. They still have feelings. They still deserve to have life spoken into them instead of death. These children are going to grow up and be men, a father, an overseer, a mentor, maybe a pastor, maybe a coach. You never know what their outcome in life is going to be. And instead of trying to poison it, speak life into it. Speak life into them. Let them know that they can, that they're going to be the best at what they put their mind to, that they can do all things through Christ, that they are successful. Everything they touch will prosper. They will be leaders. They will be those men that God called them to be. And the little girls that are growing up, no, you're not going to be just like mommy. No, you're not going to be like Sally Sue. You're going to be better. You're going to be that woman that God called you to be. You're going to be that mom that God called you to be. You're going to be that queen. Queen, keyword is a queen. We are a father. We have a father that is king of everything, Lord of everything. So that means we're princesses, we're queens, we're kings. And this is the mindset that we need to raise our children in. The death needs to stop. It's already happening in the world. Give me 1 second, you guys. I apologize. We don't need to continue it. We need to break the ugly and vicious cycle, and knowing what our children are coming up against, knowing that the world and the society is against them, they don't need to have the battle at home. They don't need to be I remember growing up, okay, I was a foster kid, right? But I still went to school. And I remember kids that did not want to go home because their mom was going to cuss them out. Their dad was going to cuss them out. And they were going to be told, I can't this, I can't that. I remember a kid I went to school with, and he had a dream of being, he wanted to fly airplanes, but his mom kept telling him that he was dumb and he couldn't do it. There are no black pilots and all of these things. So after a while, he just started to say that he couldn't do it, that he wasn't smart enough. Be mindful. We're their first teachers. They learn from us first. If you're a single mom or you're a single father, it sucks, okay? I've been there. I'm married now. I've been married previously, but I had my moments when I was a single parent, and it was not easy. And as you guys know, I have 9 kids, and I believe it was 8. It was 8 when I was a single parent. It was not easy. First of all, I didn't even know who Francis was, so I had to figure that out. Then I had to figure out how to be a single mom. I had to figure all of these things out. But in the meantime, I was not destroying my children because of what I was going through. I was not tearing them down and telling them what they can't do. Even now, my kids do things that might be dumb or might be stupid. And I say, what you did was dumb. What you did was stupid. I'm praying and I'm learning not to cuss at them because that is not okay. I'm trying to get better because I don't want to be that mom that cusses at her kids. And then because I cussed at them, when they get older and they have kids, they carry the cycle on. I'm trying to break that. I've never, ever, ever since day one of having Christian spoke death into my children. I don't believe in it. I tell people all the time, yeah, they may be small and they may be children, but they have feelings too. And they count and they matter. Because what you don't want is to put your kid into such a dark place and they're talking to demons. They're getting advice from witches. You don't know what these kids are going through. They're having night terrors. They might be a dreamer. And God is speaking to them through dreams. And they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know who to turn to, who to ask for help. But because, oh, I can't go to mom. Oh, I can't go to dad. Don't ever be that parent. Don't be that person. It's time to break the cycle. It's a whole new year, right? And my theory is we need to be better than we were last year. I need to be a better mom, a better wife, a better student, a better friend, a better auntie, a better author, a better life coach, a better host on Transparent Tuesday. I need to do better. And it starts at home. My first ministry is here in my house with God, my husband, and my children. And then it branches out from there. Speak life. It is so important, especially right now. It's too much going on in the world for us to be speaking death into anybody connected to us, not just our children, but anybody that is connected to us. You never know what anybody is battling. And just because they're children doesn't mean that they're not suffering from depression, doesn't mean that they're not thinking about suicide, doesn't mean they're not thinking about cutting themselves. We don't know. I love my children and I try my best to have a good relationship and to talk to them and to know what's going on in their life. And I try to pay as much attention as I can. But honestly, I can't be there every second, 24/7. I don't know every single thing. That's why I make it a point so my children know that they can talk to me. But we don't know what their battles are. And we don't want them to be battling alone. And we never want them to go to the wrong person looking for advice or looking for help because they think that their parents are going to speak death into them. And they end up entangled in a demonic relationship. They end up with a toxic soul tie. These are things that are hard to break. As adults, some are battling with depression and suicide and cutting, and it's a hard battle. So just imagine if a child is battling with it and you don't know that they're battling with it because you're too busy speaking death in there. You're too busy being angry at that absent father, which you shouldn't be down talking, especially if you have multiple children by him. You knew who he was at the first one. You went back and you had kids. What does that say about yourself? And men, the same thing. Baby mamas, no, they not a hoe, they not a this, they not a that, because y'all not together. You were with this person, you knew how she was, you kept having kids with her. Don't take it out on the kid. The kid is the innocent person in the situation. So no, they're not going to be a hoe like they mama. No, they're not going to be a gangbanger, a killer, a drug dealer like they daddy. No, you going to speak life into them. That girl may be the next doctor or the next scientist or the next politician. That boy may be the next president. You never know what their future is going to be, but don't kill it before it starts because of your words. Words are powerful. It's time to start speaking life. God gave us kingdom authority over the earth, right? That's what he gave us. So we need to start using that. We need to speak that life and we need to put it into our children. They're not too young to learn. My youngest son is 3 years old. When we have Bible study, Justice is right there with us and he does Bible study. And he tells us what he learns from what we read. And he prays with us as well. And Genesis, she'll say amen, but we getting her there too. The point is to start. Whatever you did in the past, you can't change, but you can pray about it and ask God to show you how to help you and to heal your children or to heal that person that you may have broken with your words. It's time to start speaking life. The death has to go. People are dying. We're not promised tomorrow. What you don't want is for someone to pass away, for someone to kill themselves, for someone to turn to gangs or to turn to suicide or whatever because of something that you said to them. I'm sorry, I can't look at God and face him and say, my son did this because I told him he couldn't, or he was going to be like his dad, or my daughter is the way that she is and she's emotionally jacked up, so depressed, can't look at herself in the mirror because of what I told her that she can't do. It's time for us to be better. It's time for us to raise up and be the people that God called us to be, and it starts at home. Happy New Year's. Much love to all of you guys. I hope you guys tune in tomorrow on Clubhouse, but be mindful of the things that you say. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. It's time to start speaking life. Bye, you guys.